Hey guys, Ginger here. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the worst books that I read in 2019. I normally don't end up having a lot of bad books, but I did end up making a list of 10 to talk to you guys about today. All but 4 of these books I do not own anymore, or I got from the library, and the 4 that I have in my possession will be leaving my shelves after this video. So if you would like any of them, even though I rated them bad, let me know. I'll send them your way. But without further ado, let's get into talking about some of the worst books that I read. We are going to be going from 10 being like, this was bad, but it's fine, to 1 being the absolute worst book that I read this year. So number 10 was Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi. I did not like the Shadow Me series, but Unravel Me was the worst one, and I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was awful. Like, it was a bad middle book. There was so much complaining, so much whining from Juliet, and I mean, again, I didn't really like the series, but that one just wasn't great, and I almost didn't even finish the series because of that book. I did end up finishing, and I read Ignite Me, and Ignite Me was fine, but I'm not ever going to continue, and I'm not keeping those books on my shelves, unfortunately. So, we'll move on now. Number 9 was The Summer by Sarah Dessen. Mostly, I didn't like this one because it was not for my age group, and that is totally not me saying that this book was just bad in general, but it was bad because it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for a tween. It was meant for someone 12 or 13, and I was going to read all of Sarah Dessen's books for a video, and I ended up not doing that. 1, because this book put me in a reading slump. 2, because I just found that that was not something I wanted to do anymore, and I scrapped that video idea, along with other ones that some of these other books went along with. And so mostly the flaw of that one was it wasn't meant for me, and so if you are in that age group, then I still think you would enjoy it, but me personally, it wasn't great because I couldn't relate to it, and it wasn't meant for me. Number 8 was There Was an Old Woman by Hallie Ephron. I read this one for the Newts, I believe, and it was just dull. It was a really boring thriller novel, and so it wasn't worth my time. The only thing it had going for it was that it was quick to read, but it was a really short book, and there was no real plot twist. There was no engaging characters. The main reason I picked it up is because one of the main characters' names was Ginger, and I thought that was cool, but it wasn't worth it, and so I ended up giving it a 2 and moving on. Number 7 is one of the ones I have in my possession, and that is Hunted by Megan Spooner. This one actually was the better of some of the other books in this pile, but I still didn't enjoy it, and I still am not going to keep it on my shelves. I thought that the main character was bland. I thought that the retelling of Beauty and the Beast was just okay, and I didn't enjoy the book. That's all there is to it. Like, the most I can say for these is I didn't like them. So this one, again, was part of a video idea I had planned, and I just ended up not finishing because I'll explain at the last book why I didn't finish. You'll figure it out, but just wasn't great. Next is one that is the most recent book that I read. Unfortunately, again for a video idea. I might still do the video idea. I might not. But this one was really disappointing for me, and it's more disappointing than bad. I had high hopes for this. I thought that the premise sounded great. I gotten good reviews from this, and I ended up really not enjoying it, and that is Blanca Iroha by Anna Marie McLemore. She wrote Wild Beauty, and that's one that I really wanted to read, and when Books and Lala talked about this novel specifically, I was really intrigued by it. I saw it on Book Outlet. I bought it, and I recently read it, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. It was not enjoyable. The only thing it had going for it was that it was quick to read. The characters I did not like. I did not like the plot. I did not like how nothing really happened, and the writing style was too whimsical for me. Like, I really enjoy beautiful writing style, but this one was too over the top, I think. I didn't bode well with it, and that's one time that I can remember that I didn't like a writing style, and that wasn't something giving this a good rating. So yeah, this one was more disappointing than bad, but I didn't really enjoy it at all, so I guess it was kind of bad too. Number 5, I again have on my pile here, and that is Unravel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Another Beauty and the Beast retelling, if you can't see a theme. Really bad. I was moderately enjoying this until the plot twist happened, and then I hated it. And I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't good. The writing style wasn't great. The plot wasn't great. It was a book of its time. I don't remember when it came out, but I remember it's not like 2014. So this one doesn't really have good reviews, but again, I picked it up for a certain video, and it wasn't for me. And I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Number 4 was the first book that I read all year. No, that's a lie. It was one of the first books that I read in January for the Buzzword-thon that dealt with lie. And it was One Beautiful Lie by Lisa Scottoline. This one was really boring for a thriller novel, and not a lot happened in it. It was not fast-paced. It took me a while to read, and nothing exciting happened. And for a thriller novel, that is just not, that's not how it should go, in my opinion. So I didn't like it. It wasn't great. I almost don't want to read another Lisa Scottoline because of that book, but I have one on my TBR because it is a signed copy, and I'm going to give it a try. But if I don't like that one, I am not going to continue reading from that author because what I have read so far I haven't liked. Then we have Beautiful Bad, which was a book that I received for review, and this was the only one that I genuinely really didn't like that I received for review this year. And again, it was a thriller novel, and it was very generic and very tropey with a thriller novel, like thriller novel. We had like a beautiful woman who had like everything, but things went wrong, and she couldn't have a baby, and she was going through a rough time with her husband, and like all of that stuff. Oh, and she had memory loss. All of those tropes put together in one thing I hate. Like, I don't know if you've seen my thriller tropes I don't like video, but those are all in there. So all of that mixed into the fact that the writing style wasn't great and it was boring made me not really enjoy it at all, and I did give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I think 2 was even being a little generous, but it was kind of fast to get through, so I think that's why I did it. I don't have it anymore. I gave it away, but yeah, unfortunately I really didn't like that one. And we have one that I was really expecting to like, and I didn't, again. I almost DNF'd it about 5 times, and that was Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. Oh my goodness, this one was so not good. Usually, YA novels are still enjoyable and they have a good writing style, despite the fact that they maybe are meant for a teenager. But this one didn't. The plot idea was cool. The plot presentation, not cool. The main character, annoying. The relationships, annoying. The plot in general, not great. Again, this was super boring. It took me forever to get through, and when I finally did, it was so unsatisfying that I immediately got rid of it and decided I was never going to pick it up again. Unfortunately, because again, the premise of it was interesting and I wanted to really enjoy it, but I didn't. And so I got rid of it. And I know that that was one that a lot of people liked when it came out, and that's why I had high hopes for it, but it wasn't for me, and that's okay. I was still disappointed I didn't like it because I wanted to like it, but it happens. I will move on to other better fantasy novels. And then the 1 star of the year, the absolute worst book that I am so sad that I had to waste time reading, was Of Besom Beauty by Stacey J. Another Beauty and the Beast retelling. This book, I tried many a time to record me saying all my thoughts about this book for the video idea I had planned, which was reading Beauty and the Beast retellings. I ended up reading 4 of the 7 I picked out. 3 of them are on this list. The other one could have been put on this list, but the time period it was written in and what it did really didn't deserve to be a worse book. I just didn't enjoy reading it. It was bland. But as you can see, 3 of the 4 books were on here. That's why I didn't continue, because I had gotten a really big reading slump because of this reading vlog I tried to do. And most of it was because of this. I originally wasn't going to put this one on the TBR, but I saw it on Book Outlet for $1.89. So I put it on the list. And it was awful. It was truly not a good book. It was confusing. The main character was so annoying and I hated her. The plot didn't make sense. The writing style was bad and did not flow. The love, Beauty and the Beast story, I can't even explain it. And it took me a little bit to get through because I didn't understand what I was reading. So there's really nothing good about this book, and I finished it only because of that reading vlog, and then I never finished that video idea. So I would not wish this upon my worst enemy, and I don't think anyone should read this book. I don't understand how this got published. That's all I can really say about it. Don't read that book, and that was the worst book that I read all year. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the books that I really didn't enjoy this year. Most of them were just not great. Some of them disappointing. One of them awful trash that I would probably throw away if I could. But let me know in the comments below what some of your worst books of the year were. And if you have a video that you did similar to this, link it down below. I will go check it out. But I hope you guys didn't have to read as many bad books as I did this year. And hopefully next year will be better and I won't read any more 1-star books. But we shall see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button to see more of my videos in the coming year and the rest of the month. And again, thank you guys, and I cannot wait to see you all in my next video. Bye!